Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi and today we are going to practice some questions, right? So basically here in front of me I have a question and then we are going to see that how we can just solve this question and get a final answer for this, right? So the question that is in front of me is it like in a fifth grade class a teacher was interested in the average age and sample standard deviation of the ages of her students. The following data are the ages for a sample of n is equal to 25th grade student. The ages are rounded to the nearest half year. Okay, now what does this question say from me? Like some of you have just got the idea that what is the question asking for, and some of you must be in a confusion, right? Let me quickly explain that what does this question and like what does it want from us? Want from us in the sense that what we need to find out. Fine. So basically here what I have in a fifth grade class, the teacher was interested in the average age. So here it is written one thing that is average age and the sample standard deviation of the ages of her students. Now it is saying that there was a teacher who was interested in finding the average age and sample standard deviation for the ages of the student, for the students that what ages they are having, which are like respective present in their classes. Fine. So what she wanted to find, let's say she wanted to find average age and sample standard deviation. So here the question comes and the answer for that also is that here I need to find the average age and the sample standard deviation, fine, of the data points which I am just given here, right? They are just listed here and we need to find the average age and sample standard deviation of these two things. These two things we need to find out from this sample. Now, what else it is written? The following data are the ages for sample of n is equal to 25th grade students. The ages are rounded to the nearest half year. That's fine. That's a little bit about that what's the question says. But the main thing which we need to find out from the question is that we need to just find out that what it is asking, right? What we need to find out. So here from that answer I just got that I need to find out average age and sample standard deviation. Fine. This is done. Now quickly let's move towards the things and move towards the next thing that we have. Now here if I just want to find the average age, so basically what does this average means? That means we need to find out the mean, right? We need to find out the average thing. So for that let's say I would denote it like x bar. Fine, this x bar is my denotation and basically we can just name it as mean also. Fine, we're just going to find out that what is the mean. Fine. Now this x bar I have just denoted that using x bar. Now what else I need to do here is that I just need to write that whatever are the data points present in my data set. So basically here I have these points and let's count. Basically there it was written that n is equal to 20, right? So basically I have 20 points here. Now what I would do, I would write 9. Okay, 9 is my first data set. Now what I would do, 9 plus, here I would write 9.5 into 2. Now why I have written this into 2? Because 9.5 is present 2 times in my data. So here the data which I have taken, that is already sorted and basically all the data points are differentiated with each other and whatever they belong to respective groups, they are just kept like that only. But sometimes you will not find the data like this. So what you need to do is that you need to arrange your data. You need to arrange your data in the form that every number, like whatever the numbers are there, they just come in a group, right? Group in the sense that the same numbers would belong to a same place. Like let's say here I have 9, then I have 9.5, then I have this 10, then 10.5, then 11. So basically these all are arranged, right? These all are arranged and here I have the arranged data sets. Sometimes you will not get that, so you need to do that on your own. Fine, so here I have written x bar is equal to 9 plus 9.5 into 2. What next I have, I will just again put a plus sign and I would write 10. So basically the next point which I have is 10 and basically I have 4, right? I would just multiply it using 4. Then what I would do, I would write 10.5 and then whatever I have 3. Okay, I have even 4 points for 10.5 done. What else I have 11. So for 11 I have 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6 points total, right? And what else I have 11.5. So 11.5 into 3 because basically here I have 3 points for 11.5. Now what was the total number of data points which I was having? So total number of data points which I was having, that were 20, right? So just let me put a line here and just let me divide this above calculation by 20. Fine, so this was the way we will find that what is the average age. Fine, now just let me go downside and now here let's do one thing. Let's quickly calculate the things whatever are here. So what I would do, I would write 9 plus and this 9.5. So let's for that just open the calculator and for that let me write calculator and here we go. Fine, so here I have my calculator, and basically what I would do 9.5 multiplied by 2. Fine, so here I just got 19 plus 10 plus, okay, 1, okay, fine. So this is my 40, and after that what I have 10.5 into 4, so I again need to change this thing. So I would write 10.5, okay, so it is 10.5, and here I have 10.5 into 4. So that here I just got 42, so I would write plus 42 plus and 66, and just like last thing which we are left is 11.5 into 3. Fine, so I would just put this thing, and here I would write 11.5 into 3. So here I just got 34.5. So it's like 34.5. Now what I would do, I would just divide it by 20, and after the addition and the division, the final output which I would be getting, the final value which I would be getting, that would be something 10.525, right? So this would be the value which I would be getting after doing the all calculation. You can just verify this by doing your own. So here I just have done that, and it's like 10.525. So this is the value which I got for the x bar. So basically what our x bar was denoting, x bar was denoting that these are the averages. What we were doing, we were just finding the mean, right? So here I just got that is 10.525. Now if I would just round it off, okay, now just let's do one thing quickly. Round also, after rounding off, what I would go, I will like get, I would get 10 point, it is something 53, right? So basically this thing is rounded off, and here I got 10.53. Now what I can just conclude from here, that I can just conclude that its average age is 10.53 years, right? Because here I just got the output as 10.525. So I just quickly rounded off this to 5, and I got the final output, that is here 3, and the final result is my 10.53. So this is my very first part of the question which we have solved, and there what it was saying, it was saying us to find the average age, right? So let's go and see that thing once more here. So this is my question, and it was saying that in a 5th grade class, the teacher was interested in the average age. Fine. So basically this average age is completed. Now what is our next task? Next task is find the sample standard deviation. Now here comes a lot more calculation in this question. Fine. So and what I need to find? I need to find sample standard deviation. Fine. So for that, what I need to do is that here I would be just telling you a nicer way and a proper way for me doing all these things. So basic, okay. Let me just have let me take a very thin pen for making this rectangle. And okay, why it is just like doing the things in a, okay, so okay, let it be this thing only, and let's say this much high. Fine, this much, and fine, where it is gone. Okay, done. What else I have to do? I just want to make a line, straight line this side, and I would just do that in a very quicker way. And one more line I just need to draw, and that is this one also. Okay, fine, that is completed. Now what I would do, I would just quickly find out that sample standard deviation. For that, what I would do, I would just make different columns here. Let's say I would write a column, and that would be my data. Okay, first I would write my data. Fine. What next? I would write my frequency, FREQ. I'm just writing FREQ. Fine. This is my frequency. Fine. That we had just got. Okay. Now what is this frequency? Frequency is something like we were having the data points, right? That were, let's say, 9.5. Let's say take point 9.5, right? So that 9.5 were present 3 times in the table, in the data sets which we have got, right? So basically that 3 is called the frequency. So basically how the a particular number, basically how many times that number appears, that is called the frequency, right? So this is the frequency. Then what I would do, I would find the deviation. Fine. Yes, I would just find out that what is the deviation. What next I would do, I would I would write deviation. Fine. Here I would just write let's say I just write it this much, and I would do the square for this, and after that what I need to do is that I would just multiply the frequency and deviation is square, deviation, and here it's something like this square. Fine. Now this is my data. Now what is my data? Basically we just call it and represent it in a form of x. Now frequency is just denoted by f. Fine. What is the deviation? Deviation is x minus x bar. Now what is my x? X is my data, right? And what is this x bar? X bar is the mean which we have just find out. That was like we kind of say it as average age also. Fine. So x bar is my mean and x is my data. Now what I need to do is that I need to do the square. So I would write x minus x bar whole square. And what else I need to do here is that here I need to just multiply the frequency and this x minus x bar whole square. Fine. That is my deviation square. So I would write f and here I would just multiply x minus x bar and here I would write a square. Fine. So this is all set. Right. Here we have just completed this thing. Now what thing I need to do here is that I need to just write the points and just go on with the calculations. Now what was my data that we were having? The first was 9, right? Then I was having 9.5. After that I was having 10 and just let me go downside. Okay, and here what I was having 10. Then I was having 10.5. Okay, just let's give some space between this thing so that we can just write it in a proper way. 9, then we have 9.5 and let me go down. And yeah, here let's say I would write here as 10. Here I would write as 10.5. Then I would write 11 and after that I would write, and let's say here I would okay, that's like much space I have given, and let's say here I would write 11.5. So these, what are these? These are the data points which you are having, right? Now what about the frequency? As I just told you that what is this frequency? So frequency is number of times the particular number is presented in your data, is in your data. Fine. So this 9 was present one times only, right? 9.5 was 2 times. Let's go upside and verify this thing. So here even I have written that it was 2, then 4, then 4, then 6 and 3. So I have written 1, 2 and then 4 and then again I need to write 4 and what else? Where is my cursor? And here I need to write 6 and here I need to write 3. Fine, so this is done. So this is about the writing the frequency. Now how to calculate this deviation? That's simple. So here what I would do 9 minus and here I would write 10.52. Okay, so that will just result me as minus 1.525. Right? Now what here I am doing? I am just doing x minus x bar. Fine. What is my x? X is my this data that is here present, right? X bar was the mean which we have just found above, and that was something this this we have find 10.5 to find. Even we have just rounded it off to 10.53, but let's not go into that thing. I would just take the real mean whatever it was. Fine. That was 10.525. So here I had just taken that thing and after that I have just like subtracted. So here I would get minus sign because 10.52 is greater than 9. Fine. I just got that thing 10.525. Now here I would not be writing every time that here I am just minus 9.5 minus 10.525 and now this will just result me as minus 1.025. Okay, this will result me as minus 1.025. Now here I have 10 minus 10.525 and basically it will result me as minus 0.525, right? Now here I would not be I will not write that thing that it is now I am doing this minus. I would just write the subtraction of both of these things. So here 10.5 minus 10.525 and that will result me something as 0.025. That would be in minus because this thing is still greater, fine. So that would be minus 0.025. Now what I would be getting? I would be 11 minus 10.525 and here I would be getting 0.475. And there in the last that is 11.5 minus 10.525 I would be getting 0.975, right? So here what I just got these values that are my deviations. Now what next thing which we need to do is that we need to just take the square for those deviations, right? Now what I would do, I would just take this squares using my calculator. Let's go into that thing. Okay, so just let me keep this thing this side and okay, fine. So what I need to do is that I need to write 1.525 multiplied by 1.525. Here I need to just take out the square, right? So that is something like, and where's my fine? So that is 2.32. Fine, I would just write it's two values, not whole, fine. As like this only, I would just take the square for all the values, and there's something like 1.050, and then what else I have here? This is my third one. So where's my cursor gone? Yeah, this here, it is here. So it is something like 0, okay, 0, okay, just let me erase that and let me go down once. Fine. Fine. It's like 0.5 to 5. What will the square for this? So the square for this would be 0.275. Then square for this thing, and it would be something what 0.006. Then I would be having 0.225, and at last what I would be having, and at last here I would be having 0.950. Now we are left with only one step, and that is frequency into deviation squared, right? Frequency into deviation. Now frequency, I just told that it is this f, right? Now deviation is good, we have just quickly find out that thing. So when I would do 1 multiplied by 2.32, that would result me the same. Now when I would do 2 into 1.050, that will result me, yeah, that will result me something what 2.101. Fine. Let's yeah, that's fine. What about the third? When I would just do third thing, it will just 4 into 0.275, or it will just like result me as 1.1025. Let's go down and do the same thing for, okay. Let me just take the things that are like that they were, and just let's go down and do the same things for every of the numbers. And here what I would do 4 into 0.006, and okay, 1 second, 1.0, okay, fine. Now it will be just resulting me as 0.0025. Then it would give me as 1.35, and it will like 2.85. Now just let's verify for one of the above. So here is my calculator, and here what I would do, I would write 4 into 0.006. Okay, so that is 0.006, and yeah, it gave me a 0.0025. That is, yeah, that's fine. 25, that's fine, totally fine. Okay, so this is the thing here which I got, and this is my whole table with which I have just completed this side. Now what else I like, why I just made this table? Let me go down and tell you this thing. Fine. So what would I kind of say from here? That just this is like you can say treat it as you can say formula. Okay, sample variance. Okay, that is V. Sample variance S square is equal to and let's just see here that last column. What like what is the sum for my last column? The column in which I just multiplied frequency and the deviation square. So that would be somewhat 9.7375. Yeah, it would go till some this point, right? So sample variance S square is equal to last column is equal to sum of, okay, that is, I have just forgot to written, sum of last column, and that is divided by, okay, so I am just writing divided by total number of data values minus 1. Now what do I mean from this term, that total number of data values minus 1? So let's say for the example which we are taking, I have total values as 20, right? When I would do minus 1, so what I would be getting 19. So I would be dividing that 9.73, that what was that, 9.7357, I would be dividing this by 19. So that is a way how will I get like this is a way where I would just get my sample variance. So just quickly do that. S square is equal to 9.7375 divided by 20 minus 1, and yeah, that is 19, right? So I just wrote 20 minus 1 here. So after just doing this thing, what I would be getting, I would be getting some value, right? So this is my sample variance now. But what I need to find is that I need to find sample standard deviation, right? I would be writing sample standard deviation. I would just write the things here. Sample standard deviation S, okay, is equal to square root of sample variance. Now what I just wrote here, that sample standard deviation, that is S, is equal to the square root of sample variance. That is the reason that we will find the same sample variance, fine. So when you will just like calculate this thing, 9.7375 divided by 19 will just result something like 0.5125. Okay, so this would be the result. You can just calculate that things. Now what here is written for finding the sample standard deviation, what I need to do is that I just need to quickly square this 0.5125 square root this thing, right? And now just let me go down and let's say, okay, this is my cursor, and let me just write the thing, final thing here. So the output which I would be getting, it would be something like 0.71, 0.7158 and something like that. Now I would do, like I would just round it off, and after rounding off I would be getting that the value is 0.72. Now my sample standard deviation for this question is 0.72, which I just found out right now. Okay, so basically this is the way how we just find the average and the sample standard deviation for our question which we were having, right? So just let me highlight this thing a little fine. Okay, now just let me take a color. Let's quickly go for one side like above and just quickly revise at what we have done in this question. Firstly, we want to find the average rates and sample standard deviation. So this here I have just found out the averages using the mean, and here I just resulted the output as 10.53. After that, what I have done, I just need to find the data, frequency, deviation and deviation square for this thing, for finding the frequency into deviation square, because whatever be the sum for the frequency into deviation square, that would be divided by the total number of data points minus 1. So that is why just I need to make this table and I need to find all of these things, fine. So we just found out all these things using some calculations, and here I just discussed about the same sample variance, that S squared is equal to the sum of last column divided by total number of data values minus 1. So here I just wrote 20 minus 90, 20 minus 1, and that was 19, right? So what next I did, I just quickly found out the S square, that is 9.7375 divided by 20 minus 1. So here this resulted with the output as 0.5125. But what was our main motive? We need to find the sample standard deviation. S is equal to square root of sample variance, fine. So for finding that, what we did, we just quickly make the square root for the this S which you are finding. So there is, as soon as I did that square root, the final output which I got here is 0.72, and this is my final answer for this question. I hope you just got all the points, that basically how we need to find this thing, and basically how we do, and how we just recognize that what the question is asking, how to solve that, right? So if you have any questions, you can rewatch the videos or just ask that in the comment box. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and bye bye.